Hello, everybody. Corrie Thorne, the spiritual healer, psychic medium, spiritual emotional consultant, and I have been on a break, and well, somewhat of a break from lives and from doing personal sessions, so that I could spend time in my journey in becoming or taking on what is going to be next for me. So tonight is the full moon. This is the 23rd. You're going to hear some snorky little dogs. I have my grand dogs plus my dogs here tonight. So you may hear some noise, but I had a channel message that started to come through for the full moon, and I wasn't going to really post anything. I posted something in the middle of the week, and I was just about to go out, and I just watched the sunset. And I don't know if I can actually show it to you in the pictures, but I'm in Sylvan Lake, and well, it's hard to see, but that's my sunset tonight. And so as that sun is going down, and I see it every single night, and tonight I was sitting here, um, and I just seen my whole deck look orange, and I'm like, oh. Early this morning, I did the full moon meditation, and that is in the school. So that's in More Than Existing Academy. So MTE Academy of Higher Consciousness is how it comes up in the hyperlink. But if you go More Than Existing Academy of Higher Consciousness, there is a recorded meditation that I did this morning, and it is pretty amazing. But as I was recording, the sun was rising. It was really early, like 5:30, and the sun was rising, and you could see the red coming in through my windows. And so as the sun rises and as the sun sets, I'm giving messages and I'm channeling through. I was channeling through the Divine Mother. I was channeling through Isis this morning, and channeling through a lot of um, a lot of about envisioning and stepping into that sense of a peaceful perspective, a peaceful life, a peaceful us. I think Charlie wants to be on screen. This is my grand dog. There's two more here that look like him, but this is my grand dog. I have two of them, and that's Remy over there. um, but so in the meantime, what I was getting in this peaceful perspective and what I was channeling through tonight, I'm like, okay, so peaceful perspective is knowing that, you know, there is still going to be darkness, or there's still going to be things happening. So I was seeing an earthquake, like an earthquake breaking away from the foundation. And I could see the ground open. I could see something kind of sinking. I don't know how the magnitude of that, and that could just, what it also comes up for me is we're also seeing this whole 3D, 5D energy. And as we come into that Lion's Gate, as we come to that shift, I just feel like it's like all of that 3D energy just being like frays of it, just like just like my shoulders. So just like when muscles start to fray, they're so worn out and tired and overworked and exhausted. Well, that's kind of what that 3D energy feels like for me, is that energy feels like it is worn and it's frayed and it's been hanging on by threads. And I feel like in a lot of our situations, a lot of our own existence, is that we've been holding on by threads. And this is like it's like having a surgery and having like a shoulder replacement, so like a replacement in your shoulder, and having a knee replacement or a hip replacement. So some of you may be going through that right now, that you need, replacements in your physical body to upgrade your body, because there is nothing left to the skeletal of you because of how hard you've worked, the struggles, how much you've struggled through life, how much you've been challenged through life. I'll get back to the earthquake. And this is, and so all of this fraying energy that's been coming up is that you're seeing it in our physical bodies, and we're experiencing it in our physical bodies. But this is an opportunity for us to be at peace with. We cannot change some of the fated things that are happening, but we also can't change somebody else's behaviors and actions. We just can't. We can't force people to be different. We can't force everybody to see. I spent a long time being very frustrated that I give out some amazing, incredible messages that channel through me, and nobody listens. They, yeah, I heard you. No, you didn't. Or the change would be happening. Or I would hear somebody else, or I'd give these big messages, and they're all recorded. They're all over YouTube, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And now all of a sudden, a celebrity speaks about it, or somebody who's got 20,000, 30,000 followers speaks about it. And I'm like, I said that like 2 years ago, or I said that 3 months ago. And now all of a sudden it's being said. It's not that anyone is stealing your work. Don't get that kind of ego trip. Is that we all are existing in that same matrix, but some of us get that information ahead of time to prepare. So as I've been taking the break and stepping away, I don't have a desperate desire to feel like I am needed to be out there. I really don't. I'm like, it's like that whole sense of when I'm called upon, I'll return. When it's time to come back, but it's like, what is me giving the message that this is going to happen, really going to change when people are unwilling to change? Because for the most part, the world will not change. It's just like when we wear out our joints and our bones, we don't quit, we don't give up, we try to find every other way around it, because we are so stubborn and so persistent, which is also a good thing, that to being in control, or saying, no way, no, that ain't happening. I'm not letting that happen. I'm not going. Well, some things are out of your control, and no matter how much you try not to let it happen, it happens. Trust me. I have a destroyed spine, a hip, two shoulders, and a neck from all of my years of refusing to slow down, to change my ways, to change my life, to not to be a workaholic, to keep giving and giving and giving and giving until there was nothing left of me. And not that everybody expected it. And it, but I thought I needed to. I thought that's what I was supposed to do. And that's the whole world of humanity, where we have been existing in that energy. So if you have a body that you're feeling the aches right now, you're feeling the hurts right now, and it's like, allow, please allow this amazing healing that is coming within. So like in my meditation that's posted, it is truly about allowing that healing, allowing allowing the allowing spirit, your guides, allowing the divine source to remove what needs to be removed from our bodies, from our cellular structure, from our muscle memory, from the muscle memory of us, so that we can properly heal. Because stored in your muscle memories is like that whole memory bank of everything that you've worked on in your head, everything that you worked on for years in other ways. Your body has a memory. So when you are hurting, when your body is hurting from the ache in your body, it triggers the memory of the old hurt. So everything is amplified, and you find yourself like either acting up, shutting down, and the pain gets excruciating and gets worse because the memory is now also remembered in the body. So if someone punched you in the shoulder, someone kept pushing you back, if someone kept doing that, and now you have pain in here, well, that pain is also remembered. And you're remembering, your body is remembering that. So your body is going, and it's in that fight or flight. It's in the freeze. It's in the hurt. It remembers how it was hurt. It remembers. So if we allow the beautiful divine, as we're moving and shifting away into a different energy, is that we allow this. We can also allow some greater healing for the muscles and for the body itself, so that all of this can the blocks can start to flow, to move, so that your body hurt, feels what is really hurting, and not the pain of the past, because you will amplify what is happening within your body. And so that's why people just like keep taking drugs and keeping there saying it's not working, it's not working, it's not working. Is not that the drug can't work, is that you are working against what your body needs in order to heal. So you'll keep pushing and shoving, and you'll keep resisting, and you'll be in a battle. You make yourself so your body becomes an enemy to you. And so you have a hurt, a hurt that's really hurting from all the years. Then you have the pain that is stored within the body that you have not removed, even though you think you have, because your mind has done it. Well, your mind, your muscles, your meridians, your nervous system all belongs in one big computer system. And so when you put stuff in the trash on your computer, if you don't delete it, it's still in the trash. If you put something in a file and you forget about it, it is still in the memory. If you write there, the memory is still full, even when you go delete, 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 the memories are still full. So if somebody took your computer and you brought it in because you're just trading it in because you want to recycle it, well, all of who you are is still in there. So you go get a new shoulder. Well, you're still going to have hurts, and you're still going to have pains. And if you start to allow, and you allow your body to start surrendering, to start to let go, there's a sense of freedom that comes with that. And this is where we start to become the healer of our own lives. We start to inspire ourselves. When you start to question yourself doesn't mean just question your crazy moments or whatever's happening. It means question what your real hurt is, what your pain is, what's really happening within you. So when there is something happening in the world, I feel the whole world. I feel everything. That's how I'm created. I feel everything. I feel my plants. I feel my fish. I have a beta fish, and me and the beta fish talk constantly. I feel my animals. I've seen a little, like a muskrat or something, get hit on the road the other day, and it was like trying to get itself off the road, and it was dying, and everything, like, but there was traffic coming everywhere, so I couldn't stop, and my heart sunk. And for, like, I had to drive back later that evening when the traffic was down so I could check and see if he was still on the road, because I would have got out and removed him. Because my bot I just and it went right to my heart, and I could feel it. And so when the earth breaks and the earth quakes and the earth shakes and the earth trembles and the earth has storms and the earth has shifts and changes, I feel it. And now I could take all of that and say, that's all me. I'm the one who's in this shift, but it's not all about me. That's the beauty. It's not all about me. That these things are often about other things that are happening, other things that are existing. So, so this whole shift and this whole full moon, yes, it's the buck moon. Yes, it's in the July, it's an Aquarius, it's the explorer, it's all of those things. But I didn't record it that way. I recorded with trust and faith. I recorded with what I asked, what the world needs now. What the world needs now, not what was designed years ago about what a moon would mean, what an astrological sign actually like means, like what it represents, like someone who's Aquarius represents underneath. I asked what the world needs now. What do we need in healing? What do we need in inspiration? And with that came Isis, and with that came the Divine Mother, and with that came healing and the lower chakras and the lower vibrating energy and the earth energy and our earthly emotions and our emotional connections and our earthly attitudes and our earthly love, like what we think we love, like loving certain foods or certain things, and we don't want to let go, like all of those things are some often in that lower vibrating energy. So it's about shifting that energy and making the changes that need to be made in our lives. And so what else is coming, what else I'm asking them, what else? And so I did have, with the quake, I did see the ground breaking, and I did see it being close to a building, like starting close. So I feel like it's in a city, in a town somewhere, and I don't know the extent of how big it is. If it just starts, I feel like we're starting to get some heads up, some warnings. And if we don't pay attention to our warning signs, if we stop paying attention to our warning signs, we're going to be right back where we were. And so we have to pay attention to that. Um, and then I picked up, that whole sense of those that come to hurt usually come at a time when the wounds are fresh. And so what I was getting with that was that I think you're going to see a bit of an uprise with this after this moon. I feel like you're going to see a bit of an uprise of some of the old um, unresolved issues. So some of the things that were existing in the world, that all of a sudden everything just kind of like, it stops getting attention. They move attention, like attention just gets focused somewhere else. And there's some areas right now in the world where we needed attention. And I've been saying for a long time that secrets were going to be exposed. I'm in Alberta, Canada. I am Indigenous, and I can tell you, I knew, and I just had this. I got it for months that secrets are going to be exposed. People would be held accountable, and you're going to see. And I kept saying, our generations of the children are watching. We have to do things right because the children are watching. I've been saying it for months in these messages, and it does matter. There is things that are so important to us right now. And not that we go back and an eye for an eye or do the same things over and over again. That it is about us being the change that we need to see in the world. And that is in the embodying the light, the awakening of who we are today, not who we were yesterday. We take the ingredients of old recipes. We take the ingredients of everything we knew as healers, as our family, as our cultures, and we bring it into who we are today, along with the wisdom, the new wisdom that they provide to us from where they are. They provide to us new wisdom because they only knew what they knew for the time that they existed and for the wisdom that was out there in the collective up to a certain point. And now there has been more and more in the database of the matrix that has been adding on all of this information that's just filling up right now. And it's like, and so we can incorporate old ways and new ways, and we can become the way and become this essence of us. And the acceptance that is being asked of us right now, where we are, is to accept that there's many things we're not going to be able to change. And don't worry, Mother Earth can wipe us all out, and she don't need us as much as a lot of organizations like to push on us. Not saying we don't take care of her, though. Don't, that's not a scapegoat to say, well, that means we don't have to do nothing. No, that means we need to be better people all the way around. But we also need to appreciate and to work with the resources and the values, resources that we already have and what we do have, because that's not what's the harm is. The harm is in our inability to move beyond the old ways. And because of the inability to move beyond the old ways that we get so stuck in, we end up trapped in, in a story of entrapment, in a story of a victim, in the story of survivors, in the story of, we are more than that. We are the survivalists, we are the eyes, we are the blended in diversity, we are the way, we are the life. We also have new ways of doing things and using a lot of the old resources. And when you look at the collective of everything else, it's like just like sending a man off on his little journey because he wanted to get to, he wanted to get in that rocket. Well, you got in that rocket and you're all about climate change. What do you think those things do? Just saying, just saying that we need the little people, the everyday people. And I love the man, don't get me wrong, but we are so short-sighted in our wants and our needs. And we need to really look at what really is our truths. And so the real truths are beyond the veil. And I feel like the real truths, coming out with all the secrets, coming out with all of the exposures, coming out with all this, coming out with the grounds breaking, the earth quaking, the earth shaking, and knowing that what we're feeling sometimes is not really our own. So separating yourself from what you're getting or what you think you're feeling into what's really happening is so important. Um, I am not coming back anytime. I'm not coming back to live yet. I'm not ready. I'm just not ready. I'm not ready to put myself out there. I'm not ready to feed into that world. I'm on this side doing what I need to do, what is asked of me. Like I said, it's not about being a celebrity. It is not about, my mother used to say this great thing to me. She used to always say, and you would say, someone said, I'm out of here, I'm leaving. And she said, put your hand in a bucket, put your hand in a bucket of water and take your hand out. Is there a hole? No. Well, that's us, because that is such a truth and a humbling experience, that how true that is. That desire, that need, the how special we think we are, how much we think we're needed. You know what a pain in the ass we are as humans to that energy out there? Because we're the babies. We're like the adolescents, the toddlers, and this emotional and spiritual maturity, like every band-aid came off and every wound opened up and everybody who didn't get to raise. Like, There's a whole lot of that was happening in the world. And I'm like, um, when I see my leaders act, when I see the leaders acting like children, I've lost faith in human in in institutions. When I see what is capable because people think they're better than somebody else, or because one think they need to get their own way, nah, not my world. Not my world. Because the wisdom, the channel, and how the channel says this, she's very plain blank. Ask Corrie, I might feel a little differently, but what I say right here is from channel. It's like they are not of this world. They are here to help us to find the key ingredients of what makes this world better. And it is coexisting with being able to have our own minds, our own thoughts, think for ourselves, to be able to sit, to have the maturity to sit, to listen to somebody else's perspective, to not feel, not to get up and say, hey, you, every time somebody don't agree with you or someone has a different view, and to not be on TikTok and Google and listening to every little single sign of you having some sort of condition, and you self-diagnose. I'm a healer, I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose, I don't tell people they have conditions. It's not our job, and it's not your job. It is the job of professionals to sit with people one-on-one to explore different areas. You may have some signs of certain things, but we have all become one, like almost like needing to be more into the isms, more into the attachment. We have to have a why to our own behavior and our own actions. But we also have some serious conditions that have arrived in this world that need the light shined upon it. And that's the truth. But because it has to have a light shine, we need to take it seriously. It's not a fucking joke. It is not. Trust me, I live in this world. I know of these isms. I know of these conditions. I know of these chronics. I know of these behaviors. And they're not a joke. They are real. You know where they came from? Past trauma, old beliefs, conditioning, brainwashing, emotional, physical abuse. Who ever thought they ever had a right to be better than the other? And so as I've been watching the sunrise, the sunset, I'm like, it is time for us to let some of this to leave our bodies, our minds, our soul, so that we can heal. And we can stop trying to find something wrong with us, and let's find something right with us. Let's find the things that are right in the world and not what's wrong with the world. Let's start there. Because today, even when I seen the earthquake, even when I seen it shake, even when I see all of that, I can't stop it. And me telling anybody of go seek and you can't change it. If I knew the exact location, I could probably tell somebody, but they won't listen. No one's ever listened. We warned about these pandemics. We warned about things coming. We're the jokes. And that's the truth. And so those who do listen, listen intently. And those that do listen are usually ones that are as frustrated as us. But what I can do is provide love and light in this world. What I can do as a healer is to give you the tools, the value to knowing the power of doing the healing work on such a deep level that it is not just the head stories, it is the stories that are stored in your body that allow you to believe there was more wrong with you than there actually probably was, or that your body that's hurting doesn't get to actually have its own story of hurt, because it is so there's so many other stories that are accumulated in that area. It's hard to decipher. So when you know and you can separate it, and it's the healing of the area that needs to be healed, and that area only, because everything else is removed from there, then healing goes to that area and it heals healthier in faster time, better. It just is, and it just gets better. And trust me, I was told I should be in a wheelchair years ago, and I'm still standing, and I'm still walking. I do need some cortisone, and I accept that, and I call it my golden elixir. because God also created some of the things that we need to help us. And so because we didn't listen, because we didn't listen. And so now here we are today in love and light. And here we are in this channel message of just asking you to allow yourself to find the beauty, to see the sunrise and the sunset, to see that the sun rises and the sun sets. Your day comes, it goes. You're everybody's divine, everybody's on this mission. Like, oh, I want to know my purpose. What am I here for? Well, it's a divine purpose. We're here to be good human beings. We really are. And here's the other thing. Everybody's destiny is exactly the same. Everybody's destiny is exactly the same. Truth. We're all here with one destiny. And that's ultimately at the end. In the meantime, we have a life. And that life should be about love and light, kindness, compassion. It should be about a virtuous life. And it is time for us to step into that. It is time for us to embody that. It is time for us to stop and to have to be somebody and to actually allow ourselves to become the somebody that we are here to be. And that's the truth. And I hope this message resonates with you in somehow. I hope it connects to you. I hope you just truly allow yourself to stop letting people, letting the old energy feed off of you, letting the past feed off of your beautiful self that is here today, of those wounds, and allow those wounds to heal through this full moon energy, and just become that person that becomes curious about what happens if I actually do set myself free of this. What happens if I live a life of freedom, liberty, and that I just know that the old ways I do have to leave behind to step into some new ways. But all of the wisdom and the knowledge of the old ways, we can't dismiss it. We do need to know that, or else we'll be on repeat. And this is us about not being on repeat. We'll let the sun and the moon do that. We'll be human because you're here for the human journey. Have a beautiful, beautiful full moon energy. I send you much love. I send you much healing. And my heart is with you. And I will be back soon. In the meantime, I have hundreds of videos that you can go back and you can watch. You can go find them. You can find the channel messages. You can watch just the dailies. And then wherever you watch them and they resonate with you, then they're for you. You have not seen no monthly astrologicals because nobody was watching. There was 80, maybe 90, sometimes 100, sometimes 5. And so I took that energy and I put it into something that is of use to me. And if you want it back, we're going to have to really petition me to get those back. I am going to be moving some of my work into Patreon. And I also have another YouTube channel called She Is More Than Existing. It's the real one. If you like these videos, please like, subscribe, hit the notification button, share if you're on Facebook, anywhere, or on Instagram, anywhere that you see my work, share it. I also have a donation place. I have my link to PayPal down below, and also my website. So donations are welcome. I don't get paid. We haven't made it that big. And so in the meantime, I do what I do because I absolutely love people. I do what I do because I am who I am, and because I so love people. And that's the truth. And I've stopped trying to be anybody but me. And I'm honored to be here. But this is what you get. So much love. I hope you keep following. I so appreciate it. And I will be back to my lives very soon. And go into CorrieThorne.com. You can purchase my book. That's my book right there. You can purchase my book. You link to the TikTok and the cards. You can also go to More Than Existing Academy of Higher Consciousness, and you can purchase my full moon meditation plus all the others. Plus, I have some new programs coming up. And so if you sign up into the school, it is free, and you can get them. You can get on the email list or not, and it will give you when everything that is coming up. And More Than Existing is starting again in September. I hope to see some of you there. Have a beautiful full moon. Bye bye.